Colds and flu are among the most common illnesses people face, especially during the colder months. But even though both can make you feel pretty miserable, they're caused by different viruses and often have distinct symptoms. Today, we're going to dive into the differences between a cold and the flu, how you can tell them apart, and what you should do if you come down with either one. First, let's look at the basics. Colds and flu are both respiratory illnesses, meaning they affect the nose, throat, and lungs. However, they're caused by different types of viruses. The common cold is usually caused by rhinoviruses, although several other viruses can lead to cold-like symptoms. The flu, on the other hand, is caused specifically by influenza viruses, which come in several types and can vary each season. Now, why does it matter? While a cold is usually mild and goes away on its own, the flu can be more serious, especially for certain groups. The flu often brings more intense symptoms, can lead to complications like pneumonia, and can be especially dangerous for older adults, young children, pregnant women, and those with certain health conditions. So, knowing which illness you have can help you take the right steps to recover and prevent spreading the illness to others. Let's start by looking at some key differences in symptoms. With a common cold, symptoms usually develop gradually. You might start to feel a scratchy throat or a runny nose that builds up over a couple of days. Typical symptoms include a sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, sneezing, and mild coughing. You might also experience mild fatigue, but it usually isn't severe enough to keep you in bed all day. One of the biggest giveaways that you're dealing with a cold, not the flu, is that fever is rare in adults with a cold. Kids, however, might sometimes develop a mild fever with a cold, but it generally won't be very high or long-lasting. On the other hand, flu symptoms tend to hit suddenly and are often more intense. It's common for people with the flu to feel fine one day and then suddenly have a high fever, chills, muscle aches, and fatigue the next day. You're likely to feel extremely tired, and muscle and body aches are more prominent with the flu than with a cold. The fever with the flu can be quite high, often between 100 and 102 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and it can last several days. Alongside fever, chills, body aches, and fatigue, people with the flu may experience a dry cough, sore throat, and sometimes even gastrointestinal symptoms like nausea or diarrhea, although this is more common in children. Another difference is in the duration of symptoms. Colds are generally short-lived, with symptoms peaking around 2 to 3 days after they start and then gradually improving. Most people with a cold feel better within a week to 10 days. While you may still have some mild lingering symptoms, like a stuffy nose or mild cough, it's usually manageable. The flu, however, can last longer and cause more intense discomfort. While some people start to feel better after about 5 to 7 days, full recovery can take up to 2 weeks or longer, especially for people with weakened immune systems or those with underlying health conditions. Fatigue can be especially prolonged after the flu, and some people report feeling drained for weeks after other symptoms have resolved. Now, what about treatment? Since colds and flu are caused by viruses, antibiotics won't be effective. But there are ways to manage symptoms and help your body fight off these infections. For a cold, treatment usually involves managing symptoms. Over-the-counter cold medications, such as decongestants, cough syrups, and throat lozenges, can help relieve congestion, sore throat, and coughing. Staying hydrated, getting plenty of rest, and using a humidifier can also help you feel more comfortable. Flu treatment is a bit different, especially for people at high risk of complications. In some cases, your doctor may prescribe antiviral medications like oseltamivir, Tamiflu, or baloxavir, Xofluza. Antivirals can help shorten the duration of the flu and may reduce the severity of symptoms, but they're most effective when taken within the first 48 hours of symptom onset. Regardless of whether you have a cold or the flu, rest and hydration are key. Drinking plenty of fluids helps keep mucus thin, makes it easier to cough up, and prevents dehydration, which can happen quickly if you have a fever. Prevention is always better than treatment. So let's talk about how you can protect yourself from both colds and the flu. Hand hygiene is one of the most effective ways to reduce your risk of catching or spreading viruses. Washing your hands thoroughly and regularly, especially after being in public places, helps remove germs before they reach your nose or mouth. Try to avoid touching your face, as viruses can easily enter your body through your eyes, nose, and mouth. Using hand sanitizer when soap and water aren't available is also helpful. Disinfecting frequently touched surfaces, like doorknobs, light switches, and cell phones, can also reduce the spread of viruses. Remember, viruses can survive on surfaces for hours, so regular cleaning is essential, especially during cold and flu season. For the flu, vaccination is the best form of protection. The flu vaccine is updated each year to target the most common and expected flu strains for that season. While it's not 100% effective, it significantly reduces your risk of getting the flu, or, if you do get sick, it can help reduce the severity of symptoms. It's recommended to get the flu vaccine early in the season, usually in the fall. But if you haven't gotten it and it's still flu season, it's not too late. The vaccine can provide protection as long as flu viruses are circulating. Beyond these prevention measures, boosting your immune system can also make a difference. A balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains provides essential vitamins and minerals that support immune health. Nutrients like vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc are particularly important for immune function, so incorporating foods like citrus fruits, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds into your diet can be beneficial. Getting enough sleep is another powerful way to support your immune system. Studies show that people who don't get enough sleep are more likely to get sick after exposure to viruses. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night to help your body recover and strengthen its defenses. Moderate exercise is also linked to immune health. Physical activity helps promote circulation and can improve immune cell function. Just 30 minutes of exercise a few times a week can make a difference, but be mindful not to overdo it, as excessive exercise can temporarily weaken the immune system. So, let's recap. Cold and flu are both respiratory illnesses caused by different viruses. Colds usually have milder, gradually developing symptoms, like a sore throat, runny nose, and mild cough. Fever is uncommon in adults with a cold. The flu, on the other hand, tends to come on suddenly with a high fever, intense fatigue, body aches, and chills. Gastrointestinal symptoms can sometimes accompany the flu, especially in children. Thanks for watching. If you found this information helpful, please like, subscribe, and share with anyone who might be trying to stay healthy this season. Stay safe and take care.